So I bought a new Chamberlain garage door opener. My garage door opener stopped working. Here's my old Craftsman garage door opener. It just stopped working. I think the motor got broken. These are all the parts when I opened it up. And then there's these pieces that get put together. You start by first taking this stuff here out. They were inside this piece, and this is the last one. It has a little notch right there. These just go together by inserting them inside each other. I'll show you how one of those works. So this is how they go together. You want to make sure you're lined up with the tabs there to tabs there, and then just insert them. And what I did was I lifted it up and just pushed it down, and it clicks in. Here's the next one. So we've put each of these pieces together, and we have the last piece with that open part there. Okay, so this last section, you need to make sure that the part with the tab here is facing up when you put this together. I didn't watch the directions close enough, and so I had to bend these tabs here out a little to pull this off and flip it around. And then after I put it back in, you just pound the center tabs in of the three, and that's what's catching, and so it's secure again. But we're gonna then tilt it up like that, so it stretches from the front to where the motor's gonna be. We've got the motor on a little packing slip, and we have this piece here at the end like that. We're then going to take these two pieces. We're going to first put a screwdriver in the second unit right here. Okay. And then this piece is going to slide in like this up into the screwdriver. So let's do that. They wanted us to make sure that there's 4 plastic pieces on each side of this before putting it on. They might have snapped out. If they did, look around and find them in the packing material. And then this slides on real easy like this, and they want us to slide this up to the screwdriver, and then this piece is gonna go on, and you can see it mounts right to these 2 screws here. So we're gonna put it in from this side, and it's gonna snap in. I guess we're gonna have to bang it in maybe somehow. Let me try that. Okay, just needed to tap it with my hand actually, and it snapped right in. It snaps on with these little snaps, and then I'm pretty sure we're gonna mount this to there. Just make sure you get this on first. So that was everything in this first page. Step 1 of the assembly, following the directions. Okay, next in step 2, we're going to find this bolt. It's like a gray, very odd color. It's pretty, can stand out. And this special nut, it has the locking mechanism on it. We're going to use that, and we're going to place it right here in the hole, which is going to be right here. So it's going to go from the top down into this hole, and then a nut underneath here. Let's tighten that up. That was the cover protection bolt right here. Now we're going to take out the 2 bolts and place this here. So next we're going to take these 2 bolts out here, and then place this in and replace the bolts right on there. You need a socket wrench for that. So these are 1/2-inch bolts. Just using a little socket wrench to loosen them up, and then I can unscrew them by hand pretty easily. And then what you want to do is use the box to line this up and get it the right angle like this, so that you don't have this torqued in any fashion. And you have to line it not only this vertical, but also aligned straight out, so these two bolts can go in pretty easily just with your fingers. And then we'll tighten them up with the socket wrench. Tighten them up just by hand. It says not to use any power tools, so I'm just gonna do this by hand. Did this one by hand too with a socket wrench. So we put this bolt in, then we put these two bolts, replace these two bolts once we mounted the whole arm, and now we're going to put in the chain spreader, which is a big plastic piece with two screws. So that's this piece. It's a lot larger than it appears in the picture, and it appears like it goes this way down in front, and you can see it lines up with two screws there. So it's going to mount like that. So this was a lot trickier than it appeared. So what I did was I put my used my hex screw and put the screw on it, held it with my finger, and then I lifted this unit upside down and inserted the screw into it. So I have one coming out already, got that inserted. So here I've got it upside down, and I can put the screw in from below, then turn it all upside down, and I've got the two screws in their holes. More difficult than I thought it was going to be, but I've got the two screws coming in, and now I can just place it on top of where it's going to sit. Let me show you. So it's going to sit this way, and I'll get my two screws to line up. So I found my 1/4-inch socket wrench helped me screw these in. It's a very tight fit, or tight screw, but it does go all the way down, and this should not rock at all, so it's nice and firm once you have it fully screwed in. That's what we got so far. So that finishes step 2. Getting those screws to align for this last step was a lot harder than I thought, but we got it done. Okay, the next step is step 3. I'm going to take the chain assembly, which had to open up, and I think you take this wire part of it, it's all connected, and you stick about 1 foot of this through this hole here. Just let it sit here, and then we're going to put the pulley, this pulley is going to go into the slot. We're going to use this bolt. It's the biggest bolt there. It's got the biggest nut and the biggest lock washer in the parts that came with it. Now, there's a little piece of, there was tape around this. There's a little dab of grease in here. I'm going to rub it around the inside there just to get this fully lubricated in here. It's probably a pretty important step so that it's fully lubed up. And we're going to insert this in step 3 right here with the bolt. Looks like it's universal, so it can go either way. It doesn't look like there's one way that this goes. So we're going to start over. We're going to put the wire here through this slot. I say to do it about a foot or so. Going to put the wheelie here, and then the bolt goes in from the top down, and you put the lock washer on first, and then the bolt. Okay, this little tab here gets bent up. They want it to be straight up and down, so I'm going to get some pliers and try to get that a little higher up and down, but that tab pops up with some pressure. Okay, so you thread all of the wire, or most of the wire, down to the trolley, and we're going to connect the trolley to this wire right here by this little thing. We use this master thread, master link. We put it underneath here. It fits on the end of this. It only goes up through one spot. The other side goes through here. Put that through, sort of hook on there temporarily. Then we're going to use these two pieces. We're going to put this piece on first. See if I can do that here with you watching. Goes on both connections, and then this clip, this piece here, goes on first one side, and then the other side clips on relatively easily. So it makes for a pretty good connection there for the trolley. We're next going to undo the chain and have the chain come all the way down and around this main screw here and back to here, and we're going to use another special piece to connect it. I believe it's this piece here to connect it all. So we laid out the chain. You can see it here, making sure it's not twisting as it comes down around into here. Now we're going to use the last master link, this piece, to connect this bolt to the last piece of the chain. So this is how you put the master link in. You put it in from one side to the other side. You put the full link piece on, and then use the clip on top of that. It just snaps on. You put this side in first, and then that side just snaps, and it's all connected nice and tight. This is going to go in through here, but I think we're going to put some bolts on first. So you screw this nut in all the way down. You put the lock washer on next, and then this is the outer bolt or nut that will allow you to tighten this up. And they say to take the screwdriver out so this can ride freely. And now we're set up to tighten this up, I believe. We'll see how far we go. Okay, so now we're going to tighten this nut up here, which is the outer nut, to make the chain more taut. And we're trying to get the chain as taut as possible, almost to the center of the bracket here. So you can see it's hanging down, so we have to tighten it up a good amount. So here we go. So if I push the trolley this way, you can see this loosens up, and then I can just push this through and screw this as I'm pushing the trolley this way. So you need a 1/2 inch wrench here to really tighten this up. No other easy way to do it. So just keep tightening, and the idea is that you're going to tighten it to get the chain here to be about a 1/4 inch below the bottom of the bracket. So we got to tighten it up to get to about there. So we're done step 5, attaching the chain. And now we're going to go on to getting ready to mount the whole system. The front side gets mounted into a stud here with this bracket, and we already have a bracket from the old system that I'm going to show you, and we're just going to replace the old bracket with this new bracket that came. It's the one that says up on it. There were 2 there. I think the larger one is the one that is mounted up against the ceiling here. Just make sure you go into a stud with this big wood screw. So once you connect the rod system here with this pin to the mount, you're going to have the system like leaning like that, and then just lift it up to the brackets here that were already there and bolted in. We won't have to put all of these brackets on because we already have the garage door bracket system, so you can really skip this step. But if you're putting in a new garage door, you would need that. And then lights in and some rope here to be able to grab this release knob. This section we don't have to do again because we already have the whole bracket system on the garage door itself, so that's nice. It seems like it all fits together similarly to other systems. So we're basically done, and let me show you how it looks. So here's the old opener that's not working anymore, and it's bracketed up already with brackets up to the ceiling. So I'm going to take this all down, and hopefully everything will line up similarly. A little concerned about this bracket into the drywall. Hopefully there's a stud there that's mounted into, so it's nice and secure. We'll find out once we get up there. So I took the old bracket that was here on my old garage door opener, and I mounted the new bracket. Had to make sure I was going into a stud. There were some holes over there that weren't in a stud. I guess the old bracket was mounted twice, and both of those bolts or wood screws went in nice and tight. I had to use a socket wrench to tighten them. And so we have the mount now, and took the old unit down here. You basically take it down by loosening the bolts there, and then it just slides down, and you can rest it on the ground, and then you undo this piece, and it came off real easy. Wasn't too hard. It was a little heavy dropping it down, but not excessively heavy. So you attach the arm here to this mount that we mounted with this little metal rod, and you put one of these clips on the end. And then this was the old arm that was attached to the garage door. Again, put on with one of these rods and a little clip, and then same thing, it attaches up here with a rod and a little clip to this section. This releases the trolley here from the piece that moves based on the cable. And when it's in the down position, we have to add this string here. It's free, it loosens it, and then when you put it up like that, it will connect in as this moves back. So when you first connect that side, this part here can be down on the ground, so it's pretty easy. And then you just lift it up and you attach it to the same 2 bolts that the other unit was attached to. So it's pretty easy. you lift it up and it lines up pretty good. So I didn't have to put in this whole piece. If you're putting in a brand new garage door, you'd have to put that in, but since I was replacing one, it was pretty simple just to attach. It lines up just perfectly. It's supposed to be a universal position and distance from the garage door, about 118 inches from the mount to these supports. Need to put in 2 light bulbs on either side, and then let me show you the wiring. So the existing garage door had these 2 sensors on either side with wires that go up and over. So the wires come down from the ceiling, and I was able to basically reuse the same 2 sensors in the first 2 positions. You put a thin screwdriver, a real small screwdriver, pushed into these little spots, and that lets you insert the wires, and then as you pull the screwdriver out, it protects it. So next you need to program the travel of the garage door. So you start by pressing and holding the adjustment button for 2 or 3 seconds. The up light button will start blinking. You press and hold that. You can just sort of tap it a few times to adjust and have the garage door come up. I had it go all the way up to about a few inches before the cover protection bolt, and then you press the adjustment button again to tell it that's the top position. The bottom button or down button will start blinking, and you press and hold that to get the garage door to go down. I had it go all the way down to make a nice seal with the floor and not cause the track to bind up too high. Then you press the center button, adjustment button again to finish the programming. And then if you want to test, you can press up and down buttons to just watch the whole travel and see if it looks like it works. So this was my old button to open the garage door, and I replaced it with the new one that came with the garage door opener. I put the red wire, it's white with a red stripe on red, and the white one on white. And up here, this is the wire that goes over to the side of the door. The red one went in this connector, and the white one went into this one. These first 2 again were for the sensors. You put in a small screwdriver underneath here, press underneath there to allow that wire to connect. So the power light came on here, and I pressed this 2 or 3 times, and eventually it starts working the garage door. So I mounted this. There's a screw underneath here that goes in there, and the other previous screw actually locks in by going in and down. So that worked out pretty good. That's working now. I can press this, open and close the garage door. Has a nice little lock feature in here. If you hold this for 2 or 3 seconds, it starts blinking now. No remote control can open the garage door. Only this can open the garage door. Sort of a safety feature. You unlock it by holding the lock button in for a few seconds. It looks like you can teach or learn other devices by pressing the learn button. Light button turns on the lights. I installed some lights in there. That looks pretty nice. I think we're almost done. Okay, now we're going to configure the remote keypad. And what we need to do from the back of the remote here is to press the learn button. and that light will show up, and then you enter your code on your keypad, and then press and hold the enter key, and the light turns off. And then I should be able to control things, so guess what? The enter key controls things, so let's try entering my code. Opens the garage door, and I can press the enter button again to stop it, and the enter button again to lower it. I guess once you enter your code, while it's flashing, the enter button controls the remote. It'll probably stop flashing after a certain period of time. Yeah, so now the enter button doesn't do anything. If I put in my code, press the enter button, it works. Let's mount it now. My old one is here, so we're going to unmount this first and put the new one in.
Well, I hope that helped you learn how to install a garage door opener. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe. If you're interested in some of my other videos, they're here on the top right, and check out my son's channel, The Nerd Writer. He has some great videos.